Hey everybody, my name is Spark. This is Russell. We are full-time travelers living right now on the Baja Peninsula. We are down near Cabo in a beautiful little town called Los Barriles, and we have been here, I guess, about 5 weeks. 5 weeks?
Yeah, so what we did was we made a choice based on not so much our thinking about it. Like, it was more of a heart based choice. Instead of following what was safe, we decided we would follow a little internal voice that everybody has and do what was a little bit unsafe but felt right, which is it's very difficult to do if anyone has done that, and especially depending on the stakes that you're throwing onto the table. Any card players could definitely relate to that. It's just we decided to do that instead of take a chance, face our fears.
So before we start this all out, I want to read a poem from one of my favorite people, Marianne Williamson. So I'm going to read that to you. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is in our light, not in our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within each and every one of us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our fear, our presence automatically liberates others. I think that's one of my favorite poems of all time. The first time I had to read that poem, I was actually at an event in Newfoundland, and I had to read it out loud, and I literally could not get those words out of my mouth. I was so choked up, and I was choked because I did not feel like that. Like, I was in a very, very low vibrational place. I had no self-esteem. And when somebody asked me to read this out loud, like we were in this event and they were like, hey, Lori, I want you to read this. I was like, I couldn't even get it out. It took me about a year to even be able to speak those words out loud because I didn't feel worthy.
Yeah, so what got you to actually do that, do you think? Or what made you read that poem and even do that?
Well, I was kind of on the spot in this event. There was about 10 of us, and the facilitator wanted me to read this out loud, and I had no idea what I was reading. And as I started reading it, like, I just got this lump in my throat, and I was like, I couldn't even get the words out because it was my deepest fear. Right? That was 100% my deepest fear, that I was totally inadequate, right? And I was so scared that I was playing so small at life. And it just brought everything to the forefront.
Were you afraid? Did you have fear before you read it?
Well, I didn't know what it was. I'd never seen it before in my life.
So you had no clue, but you didn't mind getting up and reading it, though? You didn't have any fear of that?
I was like, no, I'll get up and do that, because I didn't know what I was going to read. Like, I just thought it was something easy and, you know what I mean, light, and like I didn't have a clue.
So at that time, then, you weren't really facing fear until you got into it and you said, oh, geez. And I guess when you start getting welled up, that's when it's like, oh, God, now it's like, Or would it be a fear of letting people see your emotions kick in then maybe?
No, it was all me. It was just because it was like when I read that first line, our deepest fear is that we are inadequate. That was me, right? I was scared. I had gotten to a place in my life where I was scared to do anything because I didn't think that I was good enough. I was telling myself all these stories about how I wasn't good enough and I wasn't smart enough, and you know what I mean?
So this is something that you and I talked about lots of times, and we have little battles and banging our heads against each other when we do this, is what, and I'll just ask you the question and you can say it, or say what you want, is what guided you, do you think, to coming across that poem and end up having to come across that poem first of all and then having to read it in front of people?
Well, I mean, I was on a journey, and I knew subconsciously I was playing small. So I had signed up to these things when I was living back home in Newfoundland. What were the name? I can't remember what the name of it was, but anyway, it was all about personal growth. So I was interested in trying to figure out how to navigate through that negativity that I was experiencing, but it was much more deep-seated than what one weekend could fix.
Unless you go to Tony Robbins.
Unless you go to Tony Robbins.
Do a UPW.
Which is
that might fix you.
ultimately what I did.
Yeah.
Which is ultimately what I did.
Yeah.
Right? But I mean, I think that was like the start of my journey, and it was a great soft introduction into exploring
Yeah.
that part of myself that made me feel inadequate, and that part of that, like, I didn't love myself, was ultimately what was going on. Don't shake that.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't love myself, which was what was going on, and so therefore I was projecting that because there was no self-love. All I really had was negativity, really.
So, this is a little bit ironic also, is I'm thinking about, because you and I first got together and I never ever called you by your real name, or that's not even your real name, that was just your given name, and I always called you Spark. And I think about how, just metaphorically, or how internally you can be in such a dark place, emotionally and financially and everything that's going on and all that kind of thing, right? And what happens is, or what I'm finding is happening is that something, if you hold faith in a higher power or something, and if you can keep your eyes open, it's almost like when someone's going to punch you, and instead of squinting, you're opening them up wider. If you can train yourself to do that, you may see something that's directing you or that will help you in a big way if you're open to it, or if you keep your eyes open. And I don't even know so much as if I even doubt that a little bit, or if that's just a nice thing to say. I'm really to the point now where I truly believe that if you can face certain fears and be open-minded and still be a decent person, because I don't think you need to face fears with your fists up and swinging all the time and being like confrontational. It's sort of like facing fear in a more calm and easygoing manner, and just keeping your eyes open and understanding that, well, this was something from the UPW I just did recently, is that things are happening for you, not to you, right? And if you keep that in your mind and keep that perspective, geez, does it ever look so different to you? It's like a totally different look, man. But it takes a bit of work, and it takes I think it actually takes a few bad things or a few negative, or what
setbacks?
Well, yeah, maybe. But I'd see, now I'm even to the point now, because when I understood that, then I understand that there is no negative parts or no bad parts. Negative is just a part. It's not bad. Geez, I've been saying that now for so long, and now it's getting deeper, right? It's like, no, Jesus, now I really understand that none of that was bad. It was just a part of it's like a negative
part of the growth.
Well, it's like negative and positive of a battery, man. One part is negative, one part is that's just the way she goes, my buddy. That's the way it is, and that's just accept that and keep your eyes open and try to keep your try to stay on calm waters as much as possible.
I agree, but it's been a long and grueling journey, and it's a daily battle. It's a daily battle with trying to stay positive and stay up, because I mean, I think we're programmed to be negative, right? We're programmed to see the cup half empty versus half full, right? It was a lot of flipping the script to get to where we are. You know, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I totally agree. And that's like that's a stage of it, right? That's just a stage. And so once you get to the point of having an understanding and an acceptance of life has good and bad parts, and everybody has them. It's not just one person or this person or that person. It's just like, and mine is not worse than yours, and yours is not worse than mine. It's your experience. You know, you shouldn't. I'm not saying you can't, and I shouldn't even say you shouldn't. But for me personally, I don't compare myself with someone else's. What I find, I don't find it divides me, or it doesn't make me go like this, like I'm trying to say mine is different. What happens is I tend to see it. It's the same shagging. It's the same thing. It ends up to me looking like that's me. That's the same thing. It's just in a different package. It's exactly the same human experience. It's just wrapped up in a little bit of a different package. So it makes me. What's happened with that philosophy or that perspective for me is that it's making me see it even clearer. So now what I find is this, and I find it like it's getting more and more funny all the time. You and I, this is our first little trial at this pre-recorded thing, and we've done these things in the past. We're all over the goddamn place. We has a great time and a bad time all at the same time, don't we?
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's the ride, right? So you got to have that. Anyway, I think it's a part of the ride, and you got to learn to enjoy that a little bit too. And even if you can't enjoy it, just
it's the
sail
experience,
through.
Right?
Well, sail through those rocky waters, those stormy waters, and hold your fate, and it'll be fine, right?
Well, we've been navigating through. I won't say stormy, but we've been traveling now for a year. We left Canada we left our home in July last year, and we crossed into the United States in October, and we've been down in Mexico since December. And we've been, so I mean, when you talk about getting out of your comfort zone, we're out of our comfort zone every day, man. We're in a country where they don't speak our language, and you know, it's all bad enough if you're like Canadian, but boss, we're Newfie Canadians, so like we don't even speak proper English.
So we're way better. We're making it even tougher. Listen, I just wanted to do this because we're on a video, and I know this is where this came from, right? This is a C.T. Fletcher shirt that she got me about 2 years ago because I really dug him. He was cool, and I did like that never give up, and I don't care, man, it's your effing set, and just do it and all that. I liked him. He's funny, and he was pretty inspiring. She got me this shirt for Christmas. I would not wear it, man. I wouldn't wear it. And I was saying, that's so funny. I said, you know what, though? I'm going to wear it now. I'm going to force myself to wear it. So I would say that forcing yourself to not run away, but like really get up closer to anything that makes you feel uncomfortable is a good idea within reason. Right? But don't run away from it. At least stop and just look at it for a bit. Don't turn around and split. That
or
makes
you
me
can
feel,
put a flashlight on it.
well, yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, right? So by observing it, listen, I see I'm thinking about too much stuff, but that makes
Stay focused.
Okay, but I'll just say this quickly, and I'm not going to get into all this kind of stuff, but that was something I read about quantum physics and that, and as the scientists would, it's almost like you're chasing something, and as soon as you get close to it, it keeps moving. So it keeps moving. It's like the universe is growing outward and inwardly too, I guess. Anyway, I'm not going to get too much into that, but if you shine a light on a bug in the darkness, that bug takes off. So I would say, if you can try to master at least stopping and observing before you react with that subconscious reaction or that habit mind that we all have, and it's just natural. But if you can just stop yourself for a second, say, hold on a second now, let me think about where this feeling is coming from. I did it a few times today. It was like, I'm starting to get like a little bit upset, or I'm getting like a little bit this way and that
Where
way.
are these limiting beliefs coming from? The
Well,
limiting
limiting
beliefs are massive. They're something that as humans we have to deal with them every day in every part of your life, right? Because you have limiting beliefs about everything, and especially if you're a person who watches TV or watches movies and stuff, everything that you see is perfection and, you know, implants and facelifts and fake hair and fake nails, and so everything, and so then you're comparing yourself. Like I went down that rabbit hole. I mean, I had the fake boobs, I had the Botox, I had it all because I was constantly chasing something outside myself because I had these limiting beliefs.
I'm all real, man. I'm all real. Except for my hair. My hair is a wig. Hold on, that's falling off. Oh, Jesus. That's going to fall off. My Uncle Leo used to do that all the time when we were kids. He'd, oh, geez, my wig. And he'd That's true. I've noticed my ears are getting big too, but that's better to hear you with, I
Oh,
suppose.
guys, I was cutting Russell's hair this morning, and I mean, it's grown really long, right?
Stop
And he
that,
said to
Brad.
me, he
Don't
goes,
mess with my hair, man.
just cut it up over my ears. And I was like, oh my
Oh,
God,
no.
can you imagine if I cut it up over his ears? He would have looked like he had a big old mushroom cut, like, because his hair is like down to hair if I pulled it out, but it was pretty
That's
funny.
fine, Sparks. They don't need to hear about that. Except for mushrooms are good for you. Apparently, they're good for depression. So I was like, yeah, they're good for depression. I'm hearing now at the Tony
Okay,
Robbins.
we're getting off track.
Okay. Mushrooms
Right.
are supposed to be
So
microdoses,
anyway,
good for depression.
what I'm saying, stop shaking the table. What I'm saying is that I was full of limiting beliefs, and I was saying that if you watch TV and music videos or movies, you're constantly chasing this perfection outside yourself, especially as a woman. Because I mean, if you look now, like, it's crazy. Like, the amount of stuff that women put themselves through for the sake of vanity.
So,
Right.
Pepper Cool,
Okay.
and let's stick to. You want to stick to fear, or do we want to?
Well, that was fear. That was 100%
I guess fear of being judged. Yeah.
That's why I did that. So
Yeah.
that's why I, like, that was my experience from my limiting beliefs. It took me down that rabbit hole of breast implants and Botox and what are you laughing at?
Nothing. I'm just thinking about, because this is recorded, right? And I'm just thinking about. So we did some lives, and it was excellent, right? And I think they were a huge success. I don't care how many followers it was, but it was great to do lives because I'm frightened to death to do that. Well, you know what I mean? I like a big fear, and that's judgment and all that kind of stuff. And here we are doing this, and this is recorded, and I'm just thinking this is going to start getting wacky, just like one of our lives, I guess.
That's just our dynamic, boys. And by the way, both myself, Russell, our kids, we're all ADD. We're all neurodiverse. So, like, sometimes we'll start a live on one topic, and by the end of the live, God only knows what we could be talking about. But we're trying to stay focused today. We're talking about fear, talking about limiting beliefs. So I was just talking about where many people, I call it the matrix, you can call it whatever you want, you know, you're programmed daily from music videos, advertisements, television, commercials, movies, whatever. And so you're chasing this illusionary thing outside yourself that you're never going to get anyway. All I got from breast implants was breast implant illness, and I almost died and got really sick from chasing something that,
And then you attracted all the.
yeah.
I don't want to say nothing bad about
Yeah,
anybody,
no,
but that
but
will
yes,
attract
it's
attention
not-
in
it's
all
not-
sorts of ways, won't
Exactly,
it? Yeah.
exactly, right? So breast implants have been gone almost 2 years. Be 2 years this November. My body is still healing. I feel really good. I'm 50. I got like wrinkles. I got no Botox anymore. Like I'm natural, boys. I'm natural. Like I haven't even worn shoes in 3 weeks. I told Russell I don't even know about buying anymore. They're too much, man.
Well, depending on where you are, you might need a pair of shoes.
Well, I
Pat.
don't need them down here. So anyway, yeah, I'm trying to keep it as just as organic as possible.
Keep a pair of shoes anyway. You'll
Oh
know.
yeah, I got a pair of flip-flops. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, talking about fear and limiting beliefs. I'm just talking about my experience. Like, what about you?
Well, it's just my thoughts about fear is that I still got them. I'm getting better. I was caught up though in what I look like and stuff, right? Because I was a Slim Jim growing up, man. I wanted to be bigger. I never had a clue, man. And you know what? I was like so insecure that I didn't really want to be asking anybody. You know what I mean? And it wasn't like back in the day you could bop onto the old interweb and figure out everything or look up information. It was anyway. I was like kind of. I'm into that, and still a bit, right?
Well,
Jesus.
when I touched your hair just then, it was like, don't spark.
Yeah, but I know. But look, my hair was like that then when she did that.
I would have fixed it.
Anyway.
Tuck it behind your ears now.
No, I won't. I'm going to leave that side out and this side like that
Ah, wicked.
now. So, what I was going to say was the fear of, like you said, the fear of being judged. Yeah. So, when I think about that, I got to fix that because I can't even see. When I think about that and doing that, and I don't want to reference this too much, and this is not like a Tony Robbins commercial or a UPW commercial, but it was really good for me because I knew this stuff a kind of bit, and I seen it again and went through that UPW, and it really resonated even more so. Is people are cheering for you. There's not as many bad people as it's just bad pieces of people, I guess. We all have that, but people are cheering for each other and stuff, man. And there's only little parts of each other that are not, and that just lasts for little bits, but. People want you to succeed. There's no one that wants to see someone fail, I don't think. And when you hit that fear, and you can feel it, and that clenches you up and makes you want to stop, that is the time not to stop. That is the time to...
Hammer down.
Well, no, I could say hammer down, but I don't even know if you need to hammer down. It's just no. Oh yeah, that's the feeling that makes me want to stop. That's the feeling that's afraid that someone's going to judge me. That's the feeling that's telling me I'm not prepared to do this on camera with a shaky table. We've never done this recording stuff before.
No.
I am like a new coach. I'm frightened. I'm afraid of advertising that. It's wild, right? Because what if I'm not that good at the beginning? How, you know what I mean? Jesus, I'm going to be asking or being paid money for my services. What if I'm not good enough? That what if I'm not good enough stuff, man, that is fucking horrible.
Which is crazy because myself and Russell will be together almost 9 years, and I have been telling him for a good 5, Russell, like, you got to do life coaching, man. Like, you're amazing. He has, he's helped me so much and many other people, but he didn't see that in himself because of the limiting beliefs that were holding him back.
Hence the
fuck average
shirt on, because what it will do eventually, if I can force myself from that discomfort of, oh God, I don't want to stick out, and what is the thing? The highest head gets lopped off first. Well, listen, I'm poking my head up now and lop away. I'll grow a new one if I got to, right? But it's all about, and that's the fear, right, that I want to face. It's internal, man. Everyone is different. Everyone's at different stages, different places. Some people go like right off the deep end with it, and I'm trying not to do that. I'd like to sometimes. I just like, you know what I mean? F it all and just... But I want to do it smooth, like as smooth as possible. I don't know if everything's smooth, but just calmly face that stuff and see if I can calmly explain it to other people that. And I got certain ways and certain things that I've seen in the past and certain ways I'd like to explain it to people. And maybe I'll just keep doing it. I'll do it for free anyway, because if it helps people, I'll just do it anyway. But it's an internal thing, and everybody knows it. So that's another. I'm going to plug the UPW and Tony Robbins again. It's an internal thing. It's internal, and you can unlock that with repetitive forcing yourself out of your comfort zone. That stuff, like, I found it so much fun to watch because I was watching it through a different filter because I understand what's going on and stuff.
Psychologically.
Yeah, psychologically I can understand, and I can understand why they're doing that stuff. And it was hard to understand when I first came across that, but I understand. Just repeat, and fail forward. Oh, Jesus, Russell, man, that thing I seen you do, that was the shit. So you were on YouTube, that was crap. Or you were on Facebook, that was crap, and you stumbled and you couldn't remember certain things. Okay, well, thank you. Yeah, thanks. I accept the criticism. I kind of see that too. I see it too. And, but someone else's opinion means absolutely nothing, really, right? It's your opinion that counts the most. It's your fear you're facing, not someone else's.
Exactly.
Look, I'm shaking the table now. It's like
yes.
we're on a boat. So it's your fear you've got to face, not someone else's. So their opinion of your ability to face your fear or not means absolutely nothing. Now look, encouragement is really nice, and if you can get into a group or a person that encourage you to face your fear, Jesus though, I'll tell you this though, if you're into a relationship with someone, be careful if you point that out at certain times. You may want to just, you might have a reason to be afraid if you point it out at the wrong time, and vice versa, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's cool.
Yeah, well, you know,
Fear is fun, man. Fear, that's a t-shirt. I'm gonna get that t-shirt printed. Fear is
fear
fun.
is fun. It is, and we have been living like that probably for the last little more than a year.
I might have heard this somewhere before too. I heard it in a song maybe or something, and it was, I think it said like, you're indestructible until you die. So
That's cool.
Yeah, you're indestructible. That's another goddamn
Until
t-shirt.
you die.
You're
So give her
indestructible
liver.
until you die. And listen, I'll tell you another little secret, and I hate to let you know this, or I hate to tell you, your vehicle might shut down, or your vehicle maybe someday may stop, but you are going to continue on. I truly believe that.
So Russell, we're 25 minutes. Let's clue it up here. And
Actually, it was 25.55. That's really cool.
And thank you for joining us. We will have lots more content. Guys, what is more amazing, more powerful, and more beautiful than you?
We didn't decide on that part.
Absolutely nothing. Well, we can change it the next time, but I really like that.
You like that? I was
I
thinking of
do.
some new ones.
Okay, well, you find me a new one, and I'll do that one.
Well, maybe
but
we could
for now,
steal this off.
CT Fletcher.
Well, I tell you what, just before we do that, okay, we'll think about this and we can talk
Okay.
about this. But I truly believe in a hybrid theory, or the hybrid theory of, and I remember seeing that on an album cover. It was, gosh, I know that someone knows. What's the name of that band back a few years ago? Linkin Park. Yeah. On the cover, and the name of the album was Hybrid Theory, and I was a few years younger than, that's a few years back, but it's a picture of a soldier running with his M16, but he's got like fairy wings, and it's called Hybrid Theory. So I'm a believer in that, man. I'm a little bit of a
I'm a
believer.
hybrid,
Yeah.
but we won't get into that.
Well-
Anyway, guys, have an amazing day, and
Take care of yourself, and fear is fun, and just take care of yourself, yeah.